Yeah, so if you're into the Polkadot ecosystem, you probably heard the name Moonsama, because our community tends to be quite vocal and even cheeky. But if you haven't, we are Moonsama, a NFT utility platform and ecosystem. So, you know, our little universe revolves around NFTs and NFT utilities. And in the past 2 years of the existence of Moonsama, we eventually managed to become the largest NFT ecosystem inside Polkadot. If you look at the market capitalizations, volumes of our NFT marketplace and activities. Yes, NFT utility. NFT utility is, you know, first of all, what do we mean by that? I don't like this word too much because it's becoming quite a buzzword in the NFT space. NFT utility is basically just, you know, what is your purpose? What is the purpose of the NFT that you're building? Like, what is it made for? What is the use case that you are using it in? And you know, like, just because you are deploying NFT collections by themselves, they're not going to be NFTs with utility. Somebody needs to give them utility, and that utility usually derived outside of the confines of a blockchain. And you know, in the past 2 years, we built quite a lot of we built up quite a lot of knowledge base and experience in doing that, and we became quite good at it. Also, you know, why are we focused on NFTs? You might ask. The reason for that is that, you know, if you're working in the Web3 space, building a dApp, you're gonna touch tokens. It's unavoidable. Fungible tokens, non fungible tokens, both of them, and you know, like, our use cases focusing mainly on the gaming space, communities, and having fun, that's how Moonsama started. Yeah, so it's not something straightforward actually to do. So as I said, just because you deployed a smart contract with some data connected to it, it's you know, like, if you want it to have utility, it needs to have some kind of use case beyond just a pretty picture to look at. So you need to do something more. And this is where we see, like, a lot of projects who build with NFTs, just launch NFT collections, but they don't really have utility, or you know, they have to start building a bunch of additional stuff to arrive in end user applications where the NFTs are actually used up. And in this past 2 years, you know, we got quite famous for delivering fast, like, really, like, insane amount of speeds. We launched, like, a new product every month. We experimented with so many things. We developed millions of, not millions, but like dozens of flavors of NFTs, the surrounding infrastructure, tools, and products that, you know, can be leveraged to give an NFT utility in some kind of use case or application. And, you know, if you're building with on-chain assets, you want them to be incorporated in your use case or application, it's very likely that you have to follow the same route, and kind of start building similar things that we started building. And especially since Moonsama is opening up, so we have now public chains. We have a nice canonical NFT marketplace that we call Sama, which is community governed, We have like 150 collections that are launched by the community. And we see them, struggling with the same early steps that we had in the very beginning when Moonsama was started. So, we also started just by smart contracts, some scripts then that become larger and larger scripts, eventually tools, and then services that we developed internally so we can do more interesting, more complex stuff with NFTs and faster, of course. And thus, one of our goals for this year for Moonsama, instead of being in crazy mode and building a new app every other week, we decided to focus more on grooming what we have already, and try to think about how to open it up and how to help our community or people who would like to build with Moonsama or in the Moonsama ecosystem, how we can help them deliver much faster and hit the market running, not having to focus on the technical, not to get lost in the technical details of creating NFTs and derive utility from them in their applications. So if you look at Moonsama technology stack, of course, it's a nice sandwich as it usually looks like. On the bottom we have our trust layer. So we have our own parachain being publicly opened in 1.5 weeks. Currently we have our own EVM chain Exosama network where most of our assets and technology lies right now. But those of you remember, we started in Moonriver, Moonbeam. We also exist on Ethereum mainnets, Polygon now. So we are a multi-chain project. We are not only, married to one blockchain or the other. So, our assets live on blockchains and all the other components are anchored into it as the source of trust. And then on the second layer, we have the utility layer, which is basically the essential pieces, the essential components that allow NFTs to have utility in applications. I'm going to focus on 2 of these in this presentation and mention the rest. Because I cannot fit into 20 minutes, and we actually have more stuff which is didn't fit onto the slides, and then I'm going to be touching a few use cases just for you to see some examples of what is possible. Yes. So back to the bottom, we have, as I mentioned, Moonsama network, which is our upcoming parachain. Yes, and I also, I cannot make any promises, but I really hope we're not going to release another blockchain, every half a year. We can stop here and focus our efforts in Moonsama network. Obviously, it's substrate-based. We kept EVM because, that's what is still popular. So you can use your existing addresses and use MetaMask. Finally, we can leverage XCM. Most of the things that we have implemented in layer 2, we are putting into layer 1, into the runtime as palettes into the Moonsama network. So for example, NFTs are palette implemented and not implemented as Ethereum smart contracts. And so, we have access to XCM, and they become potentially teleportable assets, and other chains can interact with them. And that's how we envision becoming a NFT hub in the Polkadot ecosystem. So as I mentioned, it's going to be launching publicly soon. In the beginning, what you're going to be able to do is besides fiddling with your crowd loan rewards, you can migrate Sama tokens from Exosama network to Moonsama network. We have another product for that. It's called Moonsama Router. We're going to make it public actually this week, but for this week, you can only use it to migrate Sama tokens to the Ethereum mainnet, where we're going to do some, where we're going to focus our liquidity from this point on a little bit more, but it still needs to pass a governance vote. So yeah, Moonsama network is looking cool. Then after that, shortly following up, we're gonna release Raresama, the new version of Raresama, which is our NFT marketplace, as I mentioned. You know, it doesn't make sense to create a huge migration of our existing NFT assets and NFT ecosystem unless there is a place for the new blockchain where they can be traded. So first, you know, it's almost done. It just needs a thorough review. So Raresama launches. Then we're gonna start mass migration of Exosama network assets over there. And then we're gonna focus on implementing our staking model and governance model with Jure, for example. And then, you know, it's still in the future, so we need to work out the details. We're gonna have something called Paraverse auctions on Moonsama network. So, you know, we are a lot about communities, and we want communities to define on the chain, you know, their communities, their governance, their own NFT-based staking resource economy, and have some privileged access to the tooling and services that Moonsama can provide. Because in the end, we would like community members and whoever's interested building with us to, you know, to be able to do all the cool things that we are also doing with NFTs. Moving up to the utility layer, Multiverse Portal is something that I remember covered in my first ever Moonsama presentation in my unicorn onesie. So this is the backbone of the Moonsama ecosystem, because let's say you want to bring an NFT and use it in an application, or a game, or a metaverse, doesn't really matter. You need to somehow, you know, prove that that NFT belongs to that certain user. And you also need to make sure that the user owns the NFT for the entire period when it's being used in a game or an application, so you don't want to have double spend problems. You know, like, but usually, you know, if you just want to build an application using assets or games, it's, you know, anyway, you need to build this kind of tool, something like the Multiverse Portal does. So it just, you know, takes care of that part and associates NFTs with an identity, whether it's a killed credential or you know, just an email, password, login-based user account. And the Multiverse Portal offers it with a nice API, so, you know, takes away the pain of having to touch Web3 stuff at all. And of course, it's chain agnostic completely. As I said, like, Multiverse Portal allows us to move assets between chains or assets in and out of digital, you know, virtual digital spaces like a metaverse. And of course, we want to offer it for you as well, so third parties can define their own virtual domains. They can set their own rules of what kind of NFTs they let into their domain, what kind of NFTs they want to work with. They can define their own resource economy. For example, you know, if you played Minecraft Carnage with us, certain resources you could summon, like mint through the portal as this hybrid ERC1155, ERC20 tokens, which are NFTs, but they are DeFi composable, so you could trade them on a DEX like Uniswap. And we're gonna, you know, provide admin panels for it, and you know, like, we still need to think about what kind of model are we gonna make it as a public offering. The next one, Moonsama Composer. So, you know, if you ever build NFT collections, it's usually, like, I see our community kind of figured well out how to do this, you know, like creating all the media, artwork pieces, and you write some scripts that, you know, composes them together and create like a 10,000 piece NFT collection. But, you know, what happens if you want to, you know, use them in a game like Minecraft or any kind of game or metaverse? You want them to become playable characters or items, you know, weapons, skins, whatever. Then you realize that you also need to create 10,000 gaming, like 3D models, for example. And imagine our case, Moonsama, when we have multiple collections and we need to be able to do it at scale. So that's how we ended up with our own internal service called Moonsama Composer. So you can throw in the artwork pieces. Doesn't matter if it's 2D or 3D. You can generate entire collections and also in one step, 3D models for it as well. So they are ready to be integrated in a game or a metaverse from the very beginning. It's also connected to our NFT 2.0s. So the equipable NFTs. So NFTs can equip other NFTs. I know that Remark coined this term first. Our version is different because we exist multi-chain, so like assets, NFTs distributed across other EVM chains. So you need to somehow find a way to connect them and equip a sword on Ethereum mainnet on a character which is on Moonbeam, for example. And it's for us, it happens through the multiverse portal, which acts as a source of truth for ownership for these assets. But the composer is something that's gonna, be publicly opened up as well and be part of a public offering for you guys. So you don't have to bother, with this technical stuff, because everybody goes down this route. They kind of try to reinvent the wheel and do the same stuff that we did already for 2 years and figured out well how to do it. We have reaching the application domain. Before going into that, I mentioned on the slide, for example, we also have a crafting system, so you can craft NFTs out of NFTs by defining blueprints. And we mainly use it for creating Web3 loot boxes, which, all these mechanics are essential part of a gaming, and it's all, Web3ified in Moonsama. So we're going to find a way to, give access to the public to those as well with certain, conditions. We have the Moonsama Metaverse, which is like a canonical metaverse from this point on. We started with Minecraft, but for legal reasons, you need to eventually have your own. So this is like our social hub, and you can use your NFTs in there, items, playable characters. You can fish Moonsama fishes, which are again elements of another game, which is like an auto battler of fishes, kind of like a Pokemon style. And of course, it's all multi-chain. We have music NFTs in there. You can have a virtual rave in a virtual disco with licensed music provided by public pressure. So, we're going to keep adding stuff to it from this point on. Staking and governance. If you've been following Moonsama, and like roughly 2 weeks ago, I released a public proposal of our new staking and governance system. With the launch of the parachain, it becomes super important to nail down. So if you're interested in the details, just read it through. There's not much time to go into details. But we really want to create a sustainable token model for Sama, and we don't want it to go down the route of DeFi shitcoins, these yield farm stake tokens that give you value for nothing, value for nothing, and usually creates like this ugly downwards price pressure by printing the money supply into oblivion. So yeah, our staking is going to be NFT-based. Participation will matter a lot. So that's going to be an important component. So, we want to reward people who actually provide some kind of value into our ecosystem. So these yields earned for staking, participating are not fixed. It's dynamic, and you're going to, keep earning it. We're going to keep tuning it, like how much things you earn. We define it together with the community. And it's also like an incentive system which we can use to steer the growth of our ecosystem in the direction we want. It's also connected with, we are interested in network states and building a proper kind of network state out of Moonsama with Jure. And, we have this proposal version 1 is going to be like our first attempt at doing so, and we're going to refine it as it evolves. Yeah, the clock is ticking down, so I try to speed up a little bit. But if you're interested in talking about it more, just feel free to reach out to me after the talk. Web3 music we have with Public Pressure. They sell music NFTs, and like you can have licensed music NFTs in your metaverses, again through the Multiverse portal. We have, for example, a game connected called Beat Pressure, which is this Guitar Hero like game that you can play with the music NFTs as tracks that you own. And you can see the Public Pressure talk tomorrow morning as well, I believe. Let me go to the next one. Digitizing wildlife. That's an amazing use case. The next presentation is going to be entirely about that, so I don't wanna spoil, but it's about like how we digitized 400 lions and created gaming assets of them, and it's based on underlying real data. So as the data changes, the lions and the NFT itself also changes. And all these cool things are possible with our utility layer stack, which we plan to open up and invite others also to use it and build with us. So if you're interested in those kind of things, feel free to reach out. Join the community, join the metaverse, and hope you enjoyed, and thank you for listening.